Welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll Flashback with your host, Bill Price.
In this episode of Songs That Were Covers, I will feature the song titled Shakin' All Over. Some of you may remember the 1965 song by the Guess Who. However, the Guess Who's version was a cover and was also covered by 3 other artists. Shakin' All Over was written by English singer and songwriter Johnny Kidd, who was the leader of the rock band known as Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. In 1959, the band was signed to his Master's Voice record label, with their first release titled Please Don't Touch, also written by Kidd. The single was a minor hit on the UK singles chart, reaching the number 25 position. The next release, which would become the band's most famous single, was Shakin' All Over. In 1960, it climbed to the number 1 position in the UK singles chart. Kidd described how he was inspired to write the song. Quote, "When I was going around with a bunch of lads and we happened to see a girl who was a real sizzler, we used to say that she gave us quivers down the membranes. It was a standard saying with us, referring to any attractive girl. I can honestly say that it was this, more than anything, that inspired me to write Shakin' All Over." End quote. The next recording was a song titled Please Don't Bring Me Down that failed to enter the charts. However, the single's B-side, titled So What, did manage to become a minor rock and roll classic in the UK. In 1966, the group disbanded following Johnny Kidd's death as a result of a car accident. The band later reformed in 1976, recorded 4 albums, and performed up until 1983. Here is the original version of Shakin' All Over by Johnny Kidd and the Pirates.
When you move in right up close to me, that's when I get the shakes all over me. Quivers down the backbone, I got the shakes down the knee bone. Yeah, the tremors in the thigh bone, shaking all over. Just the way that you say goodnight to me brings that feeling on inside of me. Quivers down the backbone, I've got the shivers down the thigh bone. Yeah, the tremors in my backbone, shaking all over. Quivers down the backbone, yeah, the shakes in the knee bone. I got the tremors in the thigh bone, shaking all over. Well, you make me shake it and I like it, baby. Well, you make me shake it and I like it, baby.
In December 1964, Shakin' All Over gained more recognition when a cover version was recorded by the Canadian band known as Chad Allen and the Expressions. By the spring of 1965, it reached the number 1 position in Canada, and in the U.S., the single reached the number 22 position. Interestingly, Quality Records, the band's record label, attempted to disguise the band's origin and hinted that the group was British, so on the record label, the artist's name appeared as The Guess Who. The band's actual name was eventually disclosed. However, on the radio, disc jockeys continued to refer to the band as The Guess Who. As a result, the band decided to change the name. In Australia, The Guess Who's version reached the number 27 position. However, in late 1965, Normie Rowe's version became a national hit, reaching number 1, making it one of Australia's largest selling records in the 1960s. Interestingly, Rowe had recorded the song before The Guess Who. However, Rowe's version was based on an earlier Australian release by Johnny Chester in 1962, which rose to the number 25 position. Here is an excerpt of Johnny Chester's version from 1962.
Shakin' all over.
Here is Normie Rowe's 1965 version of Shakin' All Over.
Shaking all over. Well, just the way that you say goodnight to me brings that feeling on all inside of me. Quivers down my backbone. I get the shakes in my knee bone. I get a tremor in my side bone. Shaking all over. Quivers down my backbone. I get the shakes in my knee bone. I get a tremor in my side bone. Shaking all over. Well, you make me shake and I like it, baby. You make me shake and I like it, baby. I shake. Shaking all over.
The British band The Who performed Shakin' All Over numerous times, which included performances at Woodstock in 1969 and on Live at Leeds in 1970. When Randy Bachman of the Guess Who met John Entwistle, the bass player of The Who, he was told people constantly got both bands mixed up. The Who would get yelled at for not playing Shakin' All Over, so they began playing the song to keep the audience happy. Interestingly, the Guess Who also had similar encounters, so they played The Who's My Generation in their concerts. Here's an excerpt of The Who's version of Shakin' All Over. On September 20th, 2001, I attended a concert in Fairfax, Virginia, where Joe Cocker was the opening act for the Guess Who. In episode 181, I reviewed the career of the British singer Joe Cocker. I'll conclude this episode of Songs That Were Covers with the Guess Who's 1965 cover of Shakin' All Over.
Quivers down my back.
This has been a look at the story behind one of the songs that were covers, Shakin All Over. And until next time, I'm your host, Bill Price.
So what?
Rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on.